Hi, this is Nancy. And in my career, I have transacted more than $300 million in real estate. And can I tell you that I have seen a whole lot? Now, one of my subscribers contacted me and told me about a problem that they were having with some inheritance property. This particular subscriber inherited a property from her dad, and basically, she wanted to know what she do with the property because she was getting like a number of calls. She said a lot of calls about this property, and people were offering her like $5,000. This is a home that sits on 1 acre. Now, it kind of doesn't matter too much where the house is. Typically, in this environment or this season of real estate, anywhere in the world, 1 acre property, a home sitting on 1 acre is going to be worth more than $5,000. So the first thing I told her to do was to find out what was going on in the neighborhood. So I advised her because she said, well, what should I do? I don't want to be ripped off. And I said, well, you need to call the planning board in that particular city or county and find out what sort of developments they have planned for that particular area, because then you'll have an idea of what's coming. Also, she could call a realtor and she can find out what the going rate is for that particular property if she were to put it up for sale. And that would also give her an idea about that neighborhood and its value there. Well, further along in the conversation, she had mentioned one thing to me that I felt was pretty alarming, and that's the reason why I'm making this video. The video is not necessarily about the value of that property, because that's pretty obvious. But this particular issue could have caused her a major problem had she not understood what could potentially happen, and I wanted to share that with all of you. So she had mentioned, hey, well, someone has been making the payments, the tax payments on the property, and that sent me, an alarm. I said, okay, if they're making the tax payments, then there's an opportunity for that person to potentially foreclose, and there would be an issue for you. So, how this works, people, is if in fact a property has gone up for tax sale because of back taxes not having been paid, and someone purchases the taxes that have been auctioned off by the particular county, that person who has purchased that tax certificate would, if after passing the redemption period, have the opportunity to foreclose. So that means that, I'm going to use New York. Say New York, you have a property, you haven't paid the taxes, the city sells the taxes, or the county sells the taxes rather, then I buy them. Well, if after the redemption period, which is about a year or 2 years in New York, after that redemption period, which means that's how long you have as the homeowner to buy the taxes back from me, to redeem them. If you don't redeem those taxes within that 2 year period, then I, as the purchaser and holder of that tax certificate, can actually foreclose on the property. And you will just have no wins. I mean, unless you redeem it before the foreclosure. But meantime, those that tax bill with all of its interest is piling up. So I told her, well, hey, that's the first thing we need to do. We need to figure out if those taxes were actually auctioned off for sale, or if those taxes were just being paid prior to it going to the sale. Because now here's the flip side. I have a property. I haven't paid the taxes. And my next door neighbor or my auntie wants to help me out and she wants to pay the taxes. So she pays the taxes before the property goes for a tax sale. Well, auntie's just out of that money if I don't pay her back. No problem. But had auntie waited for the property to go to tax sale and then purchased the taxes, auntie would be due that money back plus interest within the redemption period. The redemption periods vary from state to state, from county to county. Some have 1 year, some have 2 years, some have 3 years. So it doesn't matter. the particular county or state will give the homeowner a period of time to redeem or to buy back the taxes. It turns out that those persons were making the payments prior to the sale. So fortunately for this particular subscriber, she didn't have anything to worry about. Now it's just a matter of finding out what is going on in the neighborhood, what's due to happen in that neighborhood, and contacting a realtor to find out what her property could, if appraise for, or what could it possibly be sold for. And also, I also advised her that there's a possibility that you may want, if the development is coming, like say they're building a Walmart in 2 years, or they have a planned unit development coming in 2 years, it may make sense to hold on to the property because the taxes are very low and she can actually sustain it. I mean, without trouble financially. She can pay the taxes and not feel any pressure, and kind of wait for that wave to come in. And possibly I could guide her on how she can develop the property herself and, keep it for whatever reasons we'll talk about offline. However, I just wanted to share that with you guys. That's why this video is not all pretty and stuff, because I will forget and not even make a video on that. But I wanted to share this tax redemption thing, tax lien certificates. That's another way to invest in real estate, which I will be speaking about at a later time. And it's really, really a safe way, because those tax lien certificates are serious. They are backed by the government. They are guaranteed because you get your money back, and you have real estate backing it up, which means that if somebody does not redeem within that redemption period, if the homeowner doesn't redeem, then you can foreclose and own the property free and clear. I have literally purchased a property like that. And I'll give you the numbers real quick. A property in New Jersey, not kidding. The taxes had grown over I think a period of maybe 15 years. The homeowner wasn't paying for the taxes. He had moved out and the property was deemed abandoned by the city. However, the taxes were still being paid by an investor. That investor was paying like 2,000, 1,000 or whatever. That investor made a minimum of 22% on his money every single year, and I wound up paying $75,000 for the taxes. I went to foreclosure. I foreclosed on the building. Ocwen was the mortgage holder at the time. They went bye-bye because taxes supersede private industry, which means mortgages. Mortgages are private and taxes are government, which make them public. So taxes succeed private industry. So the mortgages go bye-bye. You have nobody else on there that can come after you. Even subordinate lien holders can't touch you unless they file for something in the courts, which we notified everyone and nobody came forth. So I wound up foreclosing. It cost me about $10,000 because it was an abandoned property. It took a little while longer, blah, blah, blah. We had to notify all of these extra people who seemingly had liens on it. And I turned around that particular property. I developed it. So, okay, now I'm in it for $85,000, right? 75 are the taxes paid for those, 10,000 to foreclose. I did a $200,000 rehab. So 285. Let's call it that. Let's go crazy and say 300. And sold the property for 650. See, that's the power of tax lien certificates. I will actually be teaching multiple ways to invest in real estate, because everyone is not a fix and flipper. Everyone is not a wholesaler. Some people like more passive income. Some people like semi-passive income where they don't want to do a lot. You have to have like a heavy DNA. You got to be able to put up with a lot to fix and flip. I've done that as well for years, and I listen, it's not for everybody. Trust me when I tell you. So there are multiple ways to invest. I will get that video out soon. If there's anything that you would like to know more specifically, let me know in the comment section. I will make a video on that stuff as well. All of my videos are not going to be pretty. I will sometimes present a video like this. I'm sorry, the quality isn't that great. People say, oh, video quality matters. Okay, great. This one isn't. I hope you can bear with me. I don't have fancy camera, equipment and all that stuff. We'll get to that someday. But for now, I feel content is more important. So if you can bear with the ugly, I can deliver the content. Now, we're also going to, I'm also going to tell you like the good, the bad, the ugly side, because I was speaking with my niece last night and I said to her, you know, these gurus, and no shame to the gurus. I love them. Believe me, I love them. I follow them. I love them, but they don't really tell you the whole story. They only give you bits and pieces and not really necessarily the reality of it. So I want my channel to be more authentic and true. I want to give you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly side of real estate investing, because there is definitely that side of it. Everything is not all, HGTV pretty. You run into some really crazy, ugly stuff and problems that arise that most people don't talk about when they are trying to tell you how glamorous the lifestyle is with fix and flip or with wholesaling. Sure, you can make a lot of money real estate investing, which is why I've been doing it for the past 30 years. But I got to tell you, there's more to this game than just the pretty side. And I will reveal everything that I know on this particular channel. So if you like this video, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. I need you to share it because somebody else needs to hear this about tax liens, just in case they're behind in taxes. They need to make sure that those taxes are redeemed, because that person can foreclose and take their little house and put them out. I'm telling you, that's how it works. Okay, so share this one. And, oh, I think there's a notification bell. Somebody said that on YouTube. I'm not as familiar, but notify yourselves. There's a bell or something that you need to hit to say, hey, I want to see Nancy's videos. Okay? So, until next time, I am Nancy Edwards, and I'm signing off. Have a good one.